Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Gargoyles episode reviews. Today we're wrapping up Upgrade. The pack is back, and they are sicker than ever, and I don't mean that in a good way. Wolf is a wolf man. Hyena and Jackal have cybernetic enhancements or mutilations, and Dingo is in armor. Coyote is the alpha, and he's not playing around. Who is playing? Well, David Xanatos and Fox. Their chess game will decide the fate of the pack and the clan. Will the trio be able to rescue Hudson, Goliath, Elisa, and Bronx before it's too late? The role of second in command also hinges on how the trio handles this. Lost, read Upgrade, or listen to it. Part 1. Brought to you by Fox. The trio return to the clock tower to find it deserted. You know things are bad when even Hudson and Bronx, the faithful TV guardians, are gone. In a train depot somewhere, the pack is amusing itself. Wolf is staring at Goliath, Hudson, Elisa, and Bronx, who are in stasis chambers. Yeah, they were somehow able to get some stasis chambers rigged up here. And no one notices it, even though it's apparently a place where they keep a lot of trains. The giant robot is soldering a tracking collar for Bronx. They'll stick it on him and track him back to the roost. A tracker. Typical Xanatos plan there. There's a picture here of the stasis chambers and all the little trains. Hey, is Thomas the tank engine in there? And there's Hyena hanging off her hunk. Why wasn't the collar already made anyway? I mean, if that was the big plan. Can't you just stick it on him? The tracker, I mean? Well, Coyote is also the one keeping the gang from turning Goliath and company into shish kebabs. And there's Wolf staring hungrily at the sleeping Goliath, who's somehow just, hovering in that tube. Dang it, stop getting dog nose prints on the glass, Wolf. Now, at the Erie building, we rejoin Fox and David. They have resumed their chess game. Xanatos comments that Fox seems to be in check. She's not worried, though. Now, I find it neat that Fox is on the clan's side, even though she used to lead the pack. But now Coyote, Xanatos' double, leads the pack, so it belongs to David. It's an interesting trade in roles. And there's little chess men there that are shaped as gargoyles and pack members. Yes, the eyes are still green for Fox, so that's good job, animators. Side note, the pieces are representation of the gargoyles and pack, so Team Xanatos ordered a custom chess set. I wonder if there are pieces besides these. I also wonder whose idea this was. It says something about how well suited Fox and David are to each other that I can easily imagine either of them having the chess game idea. Another side note, White moves first in chess, but it seems to me the pack moved first by robbing the bank. Remember, they're the black pieces. Or was the gargoyles stopping them considered the first move? I'm confused. At the clock tower, the trio is about to leave. Then they hear a commercial. Fox is the narrator. She's telling viewers who are sick of commuting to Brooklyn, Lexington, and Broadway that they should take the train. I wonder what she, and how Xanatos in general, thought of the clan's names. The place's names are odd, but I suppose it would have been even odder for them to take more modern names like Bob, Glenn, or Carl. Of course, Lex, is the first to recognize the voice. He's still got that grudge. They know it's a trap, but what choice do they have? And people say TV's a waste of time. It cracks me up that Fox knew they'd be watching the boob tube. Yeah, and was somehow able to air that commercial right when they were there. I mean, usually it's Hudson and Bronx that are there. So, interesting risk she took there, but it paid off. At the castle, Xanatos comments that the move is clever, but he's still got the edge. The last line, and I mean the recording of it, is recycled from the tag ending of The Edge. Not sure why they had to do that. Maybe they just had to make up a little time there. They pick up on the clue and head to the train place where they peek through a window to find their friends in stasis. Lex wants to attack, but Brooklyn makes a plan. Jackal and Hyena are playing cards. Dingo is antsy but trusts Coyote. The Garg split up the pack, then cut the power. They also free Goliath and company. Ready? Fight! Hyena versus Lex. Dingo gets momentarily stuck in the ceiling. or the roof. Brooklyn versus Wolf and Jackal. Coyote versus Bronx and Broadway. Goliath puts an I-beam through Coyote before the bot can launch Bronx through the roof. Robot on a stick is what it looks like. Oh, and then there's Hyena. Hyena rotates her hips 360 degrees. Yeah, full circle. To kick Lex, then she jumps on him as he flies by. Aerodynamics have no power here. Ha! Her limbs are extended and jointed like a spider's, so like her torso's kind of just out there with these little tiny bits of metal. It's nasty. This is horrifying, but yet riveting. A hyena's wondering if gargoyles taste like chicken. She is so sick. Oh, and this is all aimed at young adults, remember. I love 1990s Disney. And there's another side view of her. Oh, it's even worse. Like, seriously, if you have not watched this episode, yeah, just stop and go watch it now. And come back. According to Greg, a challenge for the writers was keeping the pack edgy and dangerous. As is the problem with recurring villains, you have to keep them interesting by giving them advantages. Otherwise, it's just a rehash of the last time the protags beat them. You can't make the villains too powerful, though, because then the viewer wants to know why the villain doesn't just kill the protag. This is why Xanatos is such a great recurring antag. His goal is to use the gargoyles, not kill them. In fact, he goes out of his way to not kill them. The writers solved the problem by doing this upgrade with the pack. They've already established the pack as being bloodthirsty lunatics, for the most part, excluding Dingo and Fox, so it's not a stretch to say they permanently alter their bodies. Well, Broadway takes Hyena down. He lands a nice punch in the face. Brooklyn and Jackal fight. Jackal can extend his torso, telescoping it. So he doesn't have any internal organs then? He doesn't eat? How does his flesh survive this? Is there an artificial growth and oxygen transportation medium in his body? I don't know how everything inside his torso there is stretching. I don't know. This is some just fabulous technology. I can't look, but I can't look away either at this picture of him all stretched out. Brooklyn socks him when Jackal gets his hand stuck in the wall. And Hudson fights Wolf. Wolf looks even more bestial than before. It's like the adrenaline pushed the transformation farther. His face is kind of shorter, and his ears are way longer. The gargoyle's sword lands on the third rail of the, I guess it's the subway there. Since the wolf form seems to make Wolf even dumber, he grabs the electrified blade. Oops. Dingo is seeing the light of reason. Time to leave. Elisa, though, finds an industrial crane-mounted magnet and nails him with it. I don't know where she found the keys or how she knows how to use it, but whatever. Makes as much sense as anything else in this episode. Coyote is still around. Wait, no. Goliath rips his head out of the little plug-in, pulls it from the body, and crushes it like a pop can. A passing train finishes off the body. Oh, this is so wrong, because Coyote's screaming while he's crushing the head. This whole episode is so wrong. I love it, though. Now, a 2020 note here. While the head is squished, you do see it come back later. So I guess we'll cover that more when we get to it. Wrap up. The clan leaves the pack tied up with I-beams. That's going to be fun for the cops. Poor Morgan and his partner are the only two cops to arrive. Again, I'm telling you, this police force only has a couple members. Morgan's surprised, sure, but not enough to keep from wisecracking. He jokes that he doesn't know if he should take them to the hospital, Dingo, mechanic, the siblings, or the vet, Wolf. It's like he sees werewolves, guys in power armor, and people who are more machine than human on a daily basis. Maybe he does. I don't know. Let's follow what happens to the pack. The authorities take them, yes, but then what? How common knowledge are these developments in technology and medicine? Because if they're still classified, the cops getting a hold of the pack is a big deal. Won't the investigators track the parts back to Xanatos Enterprises? Won't there be questions about why XE helped wanted criminals? Or what on earth were they doing with this wacky technology in the first place? Is this all stuff that people know about but just can't afford? Well, like we've got technology now that not everybody can get their hands on. I'm going with the explanation that it's just technology that is expensive. So I can save what remains of my sanity after watching this episode. Now, in case you wondered, Brooklyn gets second in command, as if there was any doubt. Goliath picked him from the start, but didn't say anything because he didn't want to cause infighting. Poor naive soul. Tag a friend. The Xanatos tag ending. Yeah. Fox tips over David's king. Checkmate. He's impressed and a little surprised. Well played, he says. How did all this start? Like, hey, you know what would be fun? Playing human/gargoyle chess. Was that the idea? Is that how that came about? And there's Xanatos smiling, and it's morning. Beautiful sky behind him. Aren't you angry? She asks. I know how you don't like to lose. Well, who does? This is also why we have the tag endings that show how he actually didn't lose even though it seemed like he did. He takes her hands and leans in. But I have won, my darling, for in you I have found a true equal. For a guy who thinks love is a weakness, he has an excellent grasp of how to romance his wife. I love seeing these two together. If they're in the same room, they're usually in physical contact with each other. They have wonderfully snarky exchanges. David is always at least a little protective, while Fox is loyal but witty. This is one of my absolute favorite scenes. You get the sun rising between them and that beautiful sky as he leans across and they're both looking into each other's eyes, holding hands, and he is grinning. Well, she smiles at him. We end on Xanatos asking, care to play again? His expression. He's almost got a little puppy dog begging innocent look going on. Stop. So all this was a game. How Xanatos won, even when the Gargoyles won. Little did Goliath know that when he killed Coyote, he was doing exactly what Fox, an antagonist, wanted. Both players were able to move their pieces with ease, all without personally interacting with them, which I guess was probably the rules. This ep also shows how House Xanatos views the Gargoyles, and probably life itself. It's all a game. They move the pieces like Greek gods played with mortal lives on Mount Olympus. I suppose this mindset actually helps the Gargoyles. If the clan got too out of control, that would inspire Xanatos to take more of an interest in them. It's like when somebody pushes, you push back. Or like when somebody says you can't do something. Even if you didn't have any plans to do that initially, well, now you won't let anything get in your way as you do it. Now, mindsets are one thing. Power is another. Any nut can think they run the world. But the proof is in the pawns. House Xanatos wields massive power, as evidenced by this episode. And David is only a low-ranking member of the Illuminati, remember? So that should tell you what kind of world movers this series deals with. Fox and Xanatos in this ep bear a passing resemblance to the go for the jugular type of people who hold massive amounts of power in our world. They get a kick out of crashing currencies and taking over countries. The richer you are, the smaller everyone around you becomes until they're the size of chess pieces. They exist to do your will. Or so you think. Final thoughts. I like this ep in that we see Fox and David in the roles of power players at a level we've never seen before. We also see again that Fox is David's equal, and in this game, his superior. It's so refreshing to see a female allowed to be the match of a male in a fictional series, especially a male like Xanatos. Now, I normally dislike female protagonists. Yes, I do like some male protagonists. So it's not just like the protag bit. Why, though? Well, because for some reason, writers suddenly forget how real life works and thus can't figure out how to make the females realistic. By realistic, I mean capable, confident, witty, and genuine. We end up with a Mary Sue character who can do everything perfectly and is supermodel beautiful. Or we get What's-Her-Face from Twilight, dependent, weak, annoying. Or, I'm just going to add this, we get basically a guy, but they say it's a woman. Now, it is difficult. I've tried to write decent female characters, and it is very difficult. And I am a female, so that should give you even more appreciation for the writers of Gargoyles. Right, writers, stop doing my sex a disservice. I am going to put in here that I dislike Elisa. Now, she is not any of those cliches that I just mentioned. I dislike her, though, because she is obnoxious. I don't care what sex or species or age you are. If you are irritating, you are on my crap list. And back to Team Xanatos. They love competition, but in the end, they're on the same team. They have a great relationship. It's just that their game nights involve risking other people's lives rather than just playing Scrabble. I realize I didn't go too much into the pack members' characters. Well, they're mentally unbalanced, except for Dingo, who was already distancing himself from them. They want victory, wealth, thrills, and they don't care how they get it. They're also too dumb to come up with a real, manageable way to get it. They have absolutely no foresight. Long-range planning to them means 5 minutes from now. Well, at least this upgrade throws a new complication into the mix. We'll see where it goes. Next week we review Protection. Drakon. Drakon is back somehow, and he's running a protection racket, but a surprising rival appears to muscle in on his turf, Elisa Maza. Hey, what's going on here? Well, come back next time and you'll find out. Or you can just skip it and come back after that, because I really don't like these crime and mafia stories. So, what did you think of Upgrade? Was it creepy to you? Or did you also like it? And what about the chess game? Do you think they play any other high-stakes games like that? Comment here or on the blog. You can like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.